I had a really challenging morning this morning. So I'm leasing a horse. His name is Steckler. I haven't gotten on top of him. I haven't like ridden him yet. I'm still learning. Like we're starting from the ground up, like literally like how to pick his feet, how to groom him, how to lunge him, how to do all these things. And because I was like so green, I rode horses when I was little, but I got thrown from a horse and I was super scared. But when I went to go, I was just looking for like riding lessons once a week. And when I got to Kate's, her name is Kate, when I got to her stable, I just love her. She's like, she's incredible. She's a medicine woman. She's does meditation with horses. I mean, she's just incredible. It's like she was my person. She's the person for me to learn with. And then I go there and she was like, well, would you like to lease a horse? And I'm like, well, what would that mean? You come, it's like a partial lease. You come 3 days a week, then we do a lesson, and then you get to practice what we're learning. And I was like, I was a full body yes. I was like, yes, I do. I didn't care what it cost. I was like, yes, I do. So I signed up, and then I was like, shit, she's gonna have to handhold me because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then I stood there and she's like, okay, these are the horses you can choose from. She has 7 in her herd. These are the ones that are available for lease. And there were 3 of them. And I just sat and meditated or stood and meditated. And I heard Steckler say, pick me. I'm your horse. And so I picked him, and he's huge and giant. And oh my gosh, he's got a story behind him. And he's got a story. He was supposed to be jumping horses. He was not jumping horses, jumping fences. He was bred to jump fences. He didn't like it. He would bump people off. So he's got this side of him. He's like, I can do anything for you, but I will not jump a fence. I will not race and jump a fence. That's his line. So that's how Kate ended up with him. Anyway, this morning we were doing a meditation with the horses where she had us lie down. There was another woman there as well. She rents or she leases as well. We were lying down, like on these upside down, like giant horse, like feeder buckets on blankets. And she played some beautiful music. And we each had our horse. Like I had Steckler, they had their horses, they were roped up, had their halter on. I was holding their rope. And what I'm working on with Steckler, and I hope this supports you because this is all about boundaries. If you have a challenge with boundaries, this video is for you. If you have a challenge with boundaries saying no, or you feel like people run all over you, or maybe you have really freaking strong boundaries and you're inflexible sometimes. So this video is for you. So what I'm about to share, it will support you around boundaries because I'm learning as I'm going. So what I'm working on with Steckler is like, he gets in my space a lot and I don't claim my space. Like he's like kissing, or he wants to like look for carrots. And he's like always kind of like up in my grill, but I've allowed it. So right now we're working on boundaries, like pushing him back with the rope to the end of the line and having him stay there until I tell him to come in or until I go to him. And like, he'll start to creep up into me, like Steckler, back. I completely 100% created this, and it's showing me with him, and it's showing me all the places, have an owie, all the places that I'm not holding boundaries or letting people subtly or even not so subtly walk all over me. And it's my old people pleaser. And I was like, I'm a leader, I lead people, I help people, I work on my boundaries, but this horse is showing me, it's like ayahuasca. It's like confronting me. He's confronting me in all the places that I'm still wobbly. Woo. So in this meditation, I'm lying down, the music, I'm on my back, and then, they've got their horses. Their horses are still. Okay, like everyone's in a Zen space except for me and Steckler. Steckler he's like, he never bites, but he's like gnawing at my knees because I have like holes in my jeans. He's all over my face. He's like nudging. He's just all in my grill, like and I'm having to push him back. We are not Zen, like at all. And he's like pushing on my stomach, and then he hits like his nose. It's like, pay attention to me. Wait, do you have any carrots? I mean, it's constant. The whole thing went on for 15 minutes and he did not stop. There were 2 times he stopped. And that's it. He just stood there. And then this other horse who was with the other person there, she's watching it going down, this other horse. And this other horse is like inching her way toward us and just standing there like a mama, like holding this beautiful horse medicine as Steckler's acting like a toddler. And I'm not setting boundaries with him, and I'm all amped up and not. It was wild, you know? And when I taught preschool, and I'm going to get to what this is, why this is important in a second. When I taught preschool, the kids would fight. I taught preschool for 10 years. The kids would fight to be on my laps. I had one boy, if someone came near me, he would punch him. He would punch him. He's like, that's my teacher. That's my Beth. That's Miss Beth. She's mine. And I nannied for a while too, and the little boy was like that as well. He was like super possessive of me. But here's the thing. I created that too. I created this like codependency with the kids because I needed that, right? Like I lost my parents. I was like, you know, if you've been watching me for a while, you know my story, right? It's like, there's so much trauma there. And so I created, and I was so loving. I was an amazing teacher, so loving, right? So the kids love that. And with Steckler, I'm really loving, like I'm a loving person. So he was like, oh, love me. You're trying to meditate, love me. Oh, wait, do you have a carrot in your pocket? Let me see if I can get to it, like that. And the kids were like that with me as well. But here's the thing, I'm letting them I let them run all over me, right? So like when it's time for discipline with the kids, they would be like, kind of listen to me, but not really. It's like, oh, she doesn't really mean it. She loves us. She doesn't really mean it. So, and that's the same with Steckler. And it's teaching me like, oh my God, it's all this like, I don't like the love bug in me is like a pushover. She's a freaking pushover. And so Kate, my trainer, she made me do the meditation again. It was better. So I laid there on the fetal position this time for 15 minutes. He was better. He had his moments where he was like all in my face. And then we went and practiced like bringing him out to the end of the line, making him stand there, and like all those things I just talked about. And my biggest stretch, and here, if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't have boundaries, or people walk all over me, or sometimes I have too many boundaries and I don't let anybody in. This is why we're here. We are here to learn and to grow. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to go back there, right? I love hanging out with Steckler and brushing him, but like, it's hard. I'm learning like, oh my gosh, I still have all these places where I'm not stepping up. I'm not stepping into myself, right? And it's interesting because when I'm with clients, I was taught so well about how to hold energetic boundaries when I'm in service, when I'm doing that. But in the day-to-day, Steckler is showing me there's still this place where I'm falling out of myself, where I'm not claiming my space, being that spiritual warrior and saying, it's like this bug. There's been a bug in my office for 4 to 5 days. I can't freaking catch it. And I'm not claiming my space. He's like, I'm here. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. It's so annoying. But it's just like that. It's like, this is my space bug, my space. So whatever, I'm going to encourage you with this, after listening to this, just kind of start to notice like the specific dynamics you have with people. Like, are there some people where you're like a hardcore boundary because maybe they've hurt you or in the past? Or are you like with your kids, you're like, oh, they can do anything, right? That's fine. Or with your husband or your partner or your wife, like, yeah, they can get away with anything because I love them so much, you know, or even your pets, your dogs. My dog, Stella Luna, right there. I don't know if you can see her, the black one. She's obsessed with a squeaky hot dog toy. So what she does is, on purpose, she knocks that toy underneath the couch because she knows I'll go under the couch because she'll know I'll go under the couch and get that toy and throw it. She has learned, oh, I've trained her. Stella's trained me to be the bitch. I'm joking, but you know what I'm saying. Like, to be that, get on your knees, get my toy and throw it. And I played the game with her because I don't want to hear it, right? And that's another thing. It's like, I just want to hear it. I want to hear you whining here. Take it. It's like with kids. Oh my God, shut up here. Just take it, right? You want the cookie? I can't take it anymore. Take it, right? My daughter had a really hard time with no. Really, she still has a hard time with no. We used to practice with no. So even with your pets, do your pets run all over you? Are you like, oh, they're so cute, they can do anything, oh, right? Or do you have boundaries? So just watch it. And why it's important is because you're important, because I'm important. And Steckler, with him all up in my grill, right? It looks so loving and cute, but you know, it's not. It's like, you're in my grill, you're in my space, right? And there's a part of me that's like, oh, let's just cuddle. He loves me. He just wants to cuddle with me. This is a horse, right? Giant horse. Oh, he loves me. There's a part of me that's like, oh, but then there's this other part going, shit, I'm letting this 1,500-pound animal run all over me, right? So whatever animal it is, whether you have a 150-pound human or a 10-pound dog, you matter. It's like, I'm learning this, and oh my gosh, it's hard. And my trainer Kate's like, you matter. You take up your space. 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 And I'm like, take it up. No, learning that next piece of the spiritual warrior. You own your space. You take up your space. You deserve it. I deserve it. We don't have to be mean. We don't have to be, it's like boundaries, fierce, self-love, and learning how to be a master. And that he's a master in the yes, and the master in the no, and the master of your space. And Steckler is showing me all of the crevices, just like ayahuasca. When I did plant medicine, like I said earlier, confront. This is where you're tapping out of yourself. This is where you're engaging with darker densities, or where you're not truthful out of integrity. It's the same thing with the horse medicine. It's like healing 10 times, bazillion times over. So there you go. Let's do this together in the boundaries. Just watch it, and we get to be curious, no self beat up, none of that. It's like, okay, interesting. Because a part of me wants to be like, oh my God, so embarrassing. No, it's not. It's not embarrassing. It's not embarrassing at all. It's about me being fierce with myself and loving myself. That is not embarrassing. You showing up for yourself is not embarrassing. You practicing is not embarrassing. You being self-aware is not embarrassing. You're a badass, and we all get to step into that, and we still will stay in our loving, amazing, empathic selves. We can be fierce at the same time, and fierce with your boundaries. Whew. I had to go home and take a nap after that. Like I had to rest. It was confronting. It was confronting. That Steckler and that little Stella with her hot dog thing. All right. My name is Beth Osmer, and thank you for listening, and I will see you on the next video.